Hey girl, hey, happy Wednesday. It's Real Talk Wednesday. We about to talk about it. How y'all doing? I hope everybody is having a good week so far. I am. It's hot and we got a hot topic on deck. We about to talk about it. So come on in the room, make yourself comfortable, get situated, get you something to drink or something to eat, some snacks or something like that, you know, to munch on, so we could talk about y'all waddling in the mud, okay? Because today's topic is, if loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. Now, what brought this topic along was Simone. I don't know if you guys watch Ready to Love. But so Simone from Ready to Love, and I believe it was Miami. I'm not sure. It might have been Texas or something like that. But anyway, this is a couple that got together from the show Ready to Love, and they, started dating, came together, and seemed like they were having a really good relationship. Well, as women do, hide a lot of things that's going on, cover up all the bad things so they can look good on the surface. They knowing that everything is not going good. They just, over there loving all wrong because they want to be in love. So Simone gets engaged to this guy. I can't even think his name, but anyway, they get engaged, and they was planning a wedding and getting everything together. So what happened is, all of a sudden Simone broke the wedding off, and he comes on and makes a YouTube video, and he confesses about how broke he was and how he had flogged and lied, and all this and that, and it wasn't the man that he presented himself to be. Okay, so that's a short version of a long story. Okay, so anyway, Simone, who was an attorney, she decided to break the relationship off. Now, she got a lot of heat because, a lot of women are saying, okay, well, she could have stayed, she could have worked it out, what was wrong, if he was having financial issues or whatever, why she couldn't just, see it through. Well, I'm with Simone because I'm of the opinion of, if you you have to protect yourself. You have to make yourself number one. You have to guard your heart. And 9 times out of 10, and what she's already confessed to that on another video, you pretty much know who you're dealing with, okay? She had an understanding, a clear understanding from what she has explained, that loving him was wrong because he wasn't financially stable. He was deep in debt. He was a single man, and I'm not sure if he had been married before or not, but he did have a son. So anyway, she moved in with him and started helping him fix his finance and started helping him pay his bills. And as an attorney, she was going to court, getting cases dismissed and working with all kinds of things and really working with him. But she saw the mountain of bills and debt and responsibilities and irresponsibilities that she was dealing with, but she decided to love him anyway. So that's where we get this topic from. If loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. So Simone decided, when she found out that they were saving for the wedding, that he didn't have his part. He wasn't saving for the wedding. He was spending money and still blowing money. So she made a very good decision, in my opinion, to call it off, because this person here is not ready to take on the responsibility of being the head of the household. So this is where we get it from. If loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. Now, that means that, in my opinion, if you decide to stay in a bad situation, then you decide you're going to just waddle in the mud. You recognize that this is muddy water. You recognize this is not a good situation, but you're going to stay in it anyway. So if loving you is wrong, this is what we're talking about. Now, so Simone's situation was money, okay? It was a huge money issue and irresponsibility. Some people in relationships were loving them is wrong, and because the man may be financially stable, they're unhappy with the sex, okay? They complain all the time, oh, well, the sex is not good, but he treats me good, the sex is not good, but, we enjoy each other, and I love him. So this is about making choices for yourself, ladies. Now, you can love someone, but do you want to be wrong? Do you want to stay in a situation that doesn't match you, where you are in life, just for love? So if you do, that means that you just decide you're just going to waddle in the mud, and you're just going to stay in it. You just don't want to be right, okay? The next thing is stability. A lot of women get in relationships and situations with men that are very unstable. They meet them, they may be staying with their mama, they don't have, their finances together, a lot of them, don't get me started on these jail folks. Folks is putting money on people's books and all this kind of stuff, and man don't have a car, you got to go pick him up, you got to drive him around, or you going to even help him get a car, this is some real foolishness be going on out here. But those are situations when loving you is wrong and you don't want to be right. So another situation is drugs. You have women out here that's dating men that are on drugs. They know they're doing drugs. They're in love, and it's somewhere in their mind, their head, they think it's not a bad situation. He's not that bad, at least he comes home at night, I guess, or he brings some money home. He don't spend all of it on drugs, or he could be gambling. There's so many different scenarios that loving someone, people make a decision to say, if loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. It could be cheating, it could be gambling, it could be drugs, it could be finance, it could be a person that's just unstable, or they could be in jail. And you have to decide for yourself what you want for your life. So if you decide to love someone in the wrong situation, you are waddling in the mud, okay? So let's talk about, how do we move forward? How do we do a Simone? How do we hurt our feelings to save ourselves? Because that's exactly what she did. Because she explains, in a few of her videos, that she's hurt, or she's crying, she's hurt, because she truly loved this man, but she had to choose herself. And we talked about this before, choosing yourself. So if you are in a situation, you are in a relationship, and it is wrong, it's all wrong. It could be a married man, it could be a man in jail, it could be a broke man, it could be a man that's just not pleasing you sexually. It could be anything that is wrong, but you love this person. So what we need to figure out here is, when do you cut it off? At what point, when you realize that this is a wrong relationship, a relationship that's going nowhere, and loving this person is just wrong. It's not going to benefit you at anything you do is not going to benefit you, being in this relationship. And at what point do you say to yourself, you know what? I have to make myself a priority. If loving you is wrong, I got to go. Because if I don't go, I'm going to be waddling in the mud. So that's what you ladies need to think about, okay? When you get into these situations and you're afraid to cut it off. A lot of you are afraid to cut it off. A lot of you are afraid to leave someone at the altar. A lot of you women are afraid to say, no, this is not working for me. Most of you all can stand up for yourself, but there's so many women that are afraid to walk away from love. They're afraid. They're afraid to walk away from love. You're already losing. You're already losing. You're already dealing with someone with drugs. You're dealing with bad sex. You're dealing with bad habits. You're dealing with no money. You're dealing with instability. You're dealing with baby mamas, all kinds of situations. But you're afraid to walk away. At some point, you have to say to yourself, I've got to make me a priority. My happiness counts. So if loving you is wrong, I'm going to have to be right. It's a short video, but I wanted to address this today because this really is something that's going on with women everywhere, and it's very, very common. I meet so many women that that are in relationships and they want to get out of it. They want to get out of it, but they're bound and they're tied by love. Okay, but if loving that person is wrong, you better learn how to get right and get out. Okay. Hey girl, hey. See you next Wednesday.